Joining us now to discuss more on the need to combat climate change, Dr. Ikenna Nwosu is an associate professor of marine sciences at the University of Lagos. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much for having me.
Well, there's been this argument which keeps going back and forth as to whether or not we're experiencing climate change here in the country. What do you think?
I think we are experiencing climate change, and the data supports it. Seriously.
In what way is that?
2 decades ago, 3 decades ago, you could say we were not sure. Is this climate natural variability, the ups and downs we see as seasons come and go? But more recently, the trends are clear. The figures are clear. More important data coming in, consistent data over time to show that in the last 50 years, in the last 100 years, there is a definite positive rise in the temperature and the warming of the earth.
So what recent events, activities in different parts of the country can you point to substantiate this?
Well, I could take 2 instances. Let me go from a database example. NIMET, our Nigerian Institute for Meteorological Research, has predicted and forecasted that the previous years have been the hottest in history, and the next ones are going to be hotter. If we take a look at the inland lakes that we have, including our Lake Chad, it used to be shared by 4 countries. Right now, what remains of Lake Chad is just in 1 country. Most of our lakes are drying up. Our flood conditions are at very devastating scale now, and drought and desertification from the north is increasing. These encroachments are like never before. We're experiencing things in our weather patterns that we didn't used to experience. And sometimes you have rainfall in 1 day that you could have had the total volume in a month. We have seen this repeatedly, and the trends are going. Sea level rise effect, for instance, in Lagos, is beginning to threaten shoreline communities. Disappearance of some fishing communities because the waters are reaching further at high tide, and ocean acidification is wiping out and reducing the number of the diversity of species we have and even the abundance of these things that we have. So there is clear and present evidence and danger.
Or perhaps so those who latch onto that, we've always been encouraged,
yes,
and lately too, that we should plant more trees,
yes,
change our behavior towards, yes, the environment. But there are several things that people can do. What would you suggest? What immediate kind of actions, yeah, can we immediately latch onto, okay, to at least improve the environment?
Yeah, thank you very much for that, because that's very, very key. But more importantly is the fact that the people must be aware, they must be enlightened to realize that this is a situation we must all come together, concerted effort to change. So information is key. People must speak out, people must know. People must know what they must do. Reduce your energy uses. Use more of energy efficient appliances. Plant more trees like you have mentioned, but at a much more state level, national level. It must be integrated into a national strategy for the effects of climate change. Nigeria is a signatory to the Paris Agreement 2015. We have ratified it. The COP25 just finished in Madrid, Spain. These are the peoples of the world coming together and saying we need urgent action with regard to the deleterious effect of climate change.
I know that time and again, we hear state governments, federal governments, they keep talking about planting trees as well.
Yeah.
What further action do you think they can take to galvanize the people and urge them on?
Well, we could encourage coming up with a policy that holds together new technologies, green technologies, climate scientists, information to come to solve our problem by reducing waste, by reducing our energy use, by cutting down carbon emissions, and by altogether enlightening the people to be more environment friendly. This will help us a long way.
All right then, Dr. Ikenna Nwosu, thank you for talking to us today of the program.
Yes, thank you very much. Grateful to be here. Thank you.
We're excited to hear what you think about Africa 54 and the stories we cover. Join the discussion on Facebook. The address is Africa54, and check out our headlines 24/7 on voaafrica.com. Still to come, the Kenya car insurance industry won't know what hit them as this 26-year-old unveils her new digital car insurance app.